Lesson 5, finding absolute value and adding real numbers. So what is absolute value? Absolute value is the distance from 0 on a number line. So the distance is always going to be a positive number no matter what. Okay? So the sign for absolute value, you have these bars on the outside. The absolute value of 4, how far away is 4 from 0? That's 4. 4 steps away from 0. The absolute value of -4, that's also 4 steps away from 0. So when we simplify with absolute value, you have to do what's inside the brackets or parentheses first. Before you can find, especially if it's dealing with absolute value, find what's on the inside first, then the absolute value. So 1 minus 1/3 is 2/3. Find the absolute value of 2/3, which is a positive 2/3. So let's look at example A. The absolute value of a -9, that's 9 steps away from 0. The absolute value of 7.12, that is 7.12 steps away from 0. The negative absolute value of 7 plus 16. So I got to do what's inside the absolute value first. 7 plus 16 is 23. So the negative absolute value of 23. What's the absolute value of 23? It's 23. It's 23 steps away. But because I have a negative on the outside, now that goes with our answer. So the answer would be a -23. If the negative would have been on the inside, your answer would have been positive. Because the negative's on the outside, it stays negative. Next one, rules for adding real numbers. When you add numbers with the same signs, you just add the two numbers and keep the signs the same. So if both numbers are positive, you have an answer that's positive. If your two numbers you're adding are negative, you add them together and keep the negative sign. So you add them, keep the signs the same. If you are to add numbers that are different signs, then you should subtract the two numbers and then go with the sign that has the bigger absolute value. So if I'm doing 3 plus a -2, I would subtract them. 3 minus 2 is 1. The absolute value of 3 is 3. The absolute value of -2 is 2. 3 is bigger than 2, so it's got to be, my answer's got to be positive. Or if I go -3 plus 2, I subtract them because the two numbers have different signs. So 3 minus 2 is 1, but 3 is bigger than 2. So the absolute value of 3 is -3 is 3. I have to go with that sign. So 3 has the negative sign, so my answer is negative. Let's look at sample letter C. -19 plus -8. Since the signs are the same, I just add them. 19 plus 8 is 27. Since they're both negative, my answer needs to be negative. Let's look at some other examples. -23.4 plus 18.72. The signs are different, so I need to subtract them. So I'm going to do 23.4 minus 18.72. Now I don't have a number here, so I'm going to put the 0 because that's what's there. So make sure you line up the digits. Now I can subtract. I cannot take 2 away from 0, so I need to borrow. Borrow from the 4, I got 3 left over. Now I have 10 ones. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 3 minus 7, I can't take 7 away from 3, so I need to borrow. Borrow from here, I get 2. Now I have 13. 13 minus 7 is 6. Bring my decimal point down. 22 minus 18 is 4. So I have 4.68. But 23.4 is bigger than 18.72, so I have to use the sign with 23.4, which is negative. So my answer is a -4.68. Next one's dealing with fractions. Remember, you can't add or subtract fractions until you have common denominators. The common denominator of 3 and 6 is 6. So I need to rewrite this. So I need to get 3 to be 6, I need to multiply by 2. Whatever I do in the denominator, I must also do in the numerator. So a negative 2/3 is the same as a negative 4/6. Then I can add a negative 1/6. Since the signs are the same, I add them together. Negative 4 plus a negative 1 is a negative 5. Negative 5/6 would be my answer. Since they're both negative, my answer must be negative. And the last one here, 3.2 plus negative 5.1. The signs are different, so I need to subtract it. And I always subtract the bigger number and the smaller number. So when I subtract them, can't take 2 away from 1, so I need to borrow. Gives me 4 here, it gives me 11. 11 minus 2 is 9. Bring my decimal point down. 4 minus 3 is 1. When I compare the two numbers, negative 5.1 has the greater absolute value. Since that's negative, my answer must be negative. So a negative 1.9 would be my answer. Next part, we've done some with closed statements. Here we're going to determine if each statement is true or false. If it's false, provide a counterexample. So the set of integers is closed under addition, which means you add two integers, you get an integer in the end. That is true. If you add two integers, you're always going to get an integer. The set of real numbers is closed under addition. So if you take any real number, add them together, you always get a real number. That is also true. The set of rational numbers is closed under addition. Take two rational numbers, add them together, you will always be rational. That is also true. And the set of positive integers is closed under addition. You take two integers, positive integers, you add them, you always get a positive integer. That is true as well. So look at an application problem here. On the first down, the Cougars lost 4 yards. So if I want to show lost 4 yards, that's a negative 4 yards. Next part, they gained 7 yards on second down. So they gained 7, so plus 7. Use addition to find the total number of yards lost or gained on the first two downs. So you can see I already have my addition problem, a negative 4 plus 7. The signs are different, so I subtract them. I always do the bigger number first, so 7 minus 4 gives me 3. The absolute value of 7 is 7. The absolute value of negative 4 is 4. 7 is bigger than 4. I need to have a positive answer, so my answer is 3. So 3 yards, this would be 3 yards gained. And then our final question. The temperature at 7 p.m. was 34 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature fell 12 degrees by midnight. Use addition to find the temperature at midnight. So 34 degrees at 7 p.m. It fell, which means it lost 12 degrees, but I have to write it as addition. So I'm adding a negative 12 degrees Fahrenheit. The signs are different, so I need to subtract the two. So 34 minus 12 gives you a total of 22 degrees Fahrenheit. And since 34 is bigger than 12, I go with the positive sign. So it would be 22 degrees Fahrenheit at midnight.